sports fans anymore. We got a lot of fantasy football fans. And when you got a nation full of fantasy football fans, how do we gauge what's great and what's not? As we stated on the Saturday show, if y'all remember, for those who were listening on the Saturday show, Le'Veon Bell is about 8 catches away from Lynn Swan's entire career. That does not take away from the greatness of Lynn Swan, but when you got Antonio Brown getting 12, 15 catches a game, how do we gauge greatness? You know, the quarterbacks will always look good because you can't touch them. You can't look at them too hard. You have to let the receiver hit the ground before you try to dislodge the game. So where do you disseminate? Where you draw the line at? This dude decent with a bunch of stats, or this dude great? That's all I'm trying to figure out, man. Because did I enjoy that game? Hell yeah, man. But what's going on with football? Are people like myself and the older people in the audience, are we going to be able to enjoy football in 3, 4, 5 years? And since y'all tuned in, man, if y'all in the chat room, I need y'all to hit that like button and then continue to chat with me, man, because the likes make me look good. That's all I'm trying to say. Your boy trying to look good. That's all I'm trying to do, man. Your boy trying to look good. But how do we determine who's good and who's not? Because when you got Patrick Mahomes, look at it this way. At one point, Dan Marino, Dan Fouts, and 1 or 2 other people were the only people in the history of the game who had 5,000-yard seasons. Now that we get those joints handed out like lunch meat. So if everybody, just imagine, if everybody in NBA, if you had 8 or 9 dudes averaging 30 points, or 6 or 7 dudes averaging 30 points, you've diminished Michael Jordan a bit. You've diminished Wilt Chamberlain a bit. 30 points is still 30 points, but 5,000 yards ain't 5,000 yards anymore. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Think about it like this. LeBron James is averaging 27, 8, and 8. And people are not even impressed with that anymore because the game is so up and down. So we have to ask the question, how do we disseminate greatness from very good or padding other stats? And people don't want to talk about that. It's about stats. They want points on the board. Of course, shout out to Big P, man. Of course, P, man, that's what they want, stats. But how do we have these conversations now, P? How do we say, oh no, dude, cold, but is he cold or did he just put up numbers? This is why, even though I respect Peyton Manning, this is why I look at Peyton Manning sideways. This is why I look at Brett Favre sideways. And this is why I don't respect what Karl Malone, the mailman, accomplished. I mean, he did it. That's why I call them resume Hall of Famers. Because when you look at their resume, you can't do anything but say, hey, man, this man's number 2 in score in the history of the league. But I asked the question last week, and people gave a bunch of answers. People that you would pick in front of Karl Malone. Back when Wilt Chamberlain was the number 2 scorer and Kareem was walking him down, you weren't going to find nobody to say, oh, no, I don't want Wilt. But there's people that don't want. Hey, you can't, even to this day, you can't name 4 guys that you would want in front of Wilt Chamberlain. 50 years after he started playing, 50 years after he retired, damn near, you can't find people that will say, oh, no, I don't want no Wilt Chamberlain. I don't want Wilt Chamberlain. 50 years after he won his first championship. And you still got people saying, yeah, I take Wilt. How do you do that? How do we get to the point where everything is Xbox oriented and things of that nature? I'm just trying to understand, man. You know, and when you look at these games, you have to ask that question. Another question you want to ask is, who's the best team in football right now? And I think that's a legitimate question. Who is the best team in football? What I'm going to do is give y'all the teams that I think, I'm going to call them my top 6, because I'm going to give you the teams that I believe is going to be in the Final Four. Then I'm going to give you the 2 teams that's knocking on the door of that. The number 1 team in AFC right now, if you ask me, it has to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though they ain't playing a lick of defense, it has to be the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have an unstoppable offense, and if Andy Reid wakes up and uses everything at his disposal, then Andy Reid will put himself in a situation to whereas they are unstoppable. The number 2 team in the AFC, believe it or not, is the Los Angeles Chargers. Even though people are saying, hey man, they ain't really on nothing and this, that, the third and blah, blah, blah. They ain't beat nobody. They got beat by Denver. First of all, when you get beat by Denver, you get beat by a divisional rival. So you can't discount that. So that's why number 2 team is the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 3 team is Pittsburgh Steelers. I heard a whole lot of hemming and hawing, jaw jacking and macking about Mike Tomlin is losing the team. Mike Tomlin is this. Mike Tomlin is that. But guess what? Who ain't talking about Mike Tomlin now? Mike Tomlin got them dude. He started off 1-1-1. Now he's 7-2-1. And guess what? The Pittsburgh Steelers are playing in regards to scoring defense, which is the most important aspect of defense. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they're in the top 3 in scoring defense. As a matter of fact, I think they the top. They got the number 1 scoring defense in the league in the NFL in regards to teams that are relevant. We ain't gonna talk about the teams that ain't relevant because they really don't make a difference. The team that's right on the outside of that, because hey, I'm gonna shock y'all. The Patriots ain't even in this conversation, though. No, the Patriots have too many flaws. You got Gronk that ain't healthy, Brady who looking shaky, and it wasn't just one game. Brady looking shaky as hell. The team that's coming up right behind them is this: the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are the number 4 team in the AFC. If the 2 teams that's going to go in the Final Four will be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Houston Texans, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Those are the 4. And the team that's on the outside looking in, peeking in, is a team that ain't nobody really paying attention to, if you ask me. I'm going to say the Colts. Now, you might call me crazy and say, oh man, the Colts ain't no nothing. Andrew Luck is having one of the best seasons. He's already solidified his place as comeback player of the year. He's putting up big numbers. I think he got like 8 bench warmers. What's up? Well, what's up, Big Illinois? What's up, man? What's up, man? Thanks for joining the show, man. You miss MC Shan, brother. What's good? I'm going to go with the Colts because ain't nobody looking for them. And this is football. Any given Sunday, you can get your hat handed to you. Now I'm going to switch over to the NFC. The NFC is a little more intriguing when you have the number 1 team in NFC right now, hands down, ain't nothing else to talk about. That's the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints are kicking ass and taking names. The only issue I have is they have very little depth at wide receiver. But when you have Drew Brees and you have a genius, like a football genius mind that is called Sean Payton, nobody can challenge them. I don't see a whole lot of teams trying to do anything to slow their mission down in regards to the Saints. The next team I want y'all to pay attention to in the AFC and NFC is, of course, the Rams. The Rams are battle tested. A lot of people thought they were shaky. A lot of people counted the Rams out when they lost to the Saints the other week, and they was like, oh man, and then they thought they were going to lose to the Packers. People saying, oh man, if it weren't for homeboy fumbling that ball, the Rams, they have 3 losses right now. But here's the situation. Monday, in my opinion, set the record straight in regards to the Rams. They let the Rams know, hey man, the Rams let everybody know, hey, we got issues, we got flaws like everybody else, but unless you bury us, we gonna be right there. You got the best defensive player in the NFL by the name of Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is the most unstoppable force on the defensive line since one Warren Sapp. Over the years, the mantle has been passed Joe Green, and then you got Reggie White, then you got John Randall, then you got Sapp. Now it's Aaron Donald. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is watch the Rams play. It goes down when he plays. Aaron Donald he Wu-Tang. He ain't nothing to fuck with, man. And after that, I'm gonna go with my hometown Chicago Bears. I better do the $100 before the Khalil Mack trade was even thought of that the Bears are gonna take this division. First and foremost, Kirk Cousins is too shaky in the red zone, and him and a lot of these other quarterbacks in the league get real shaky when you put pressure on him. When you put pressure on him, it's a wrap. So I ain't really trying to hear that. The Minnesota Vikings, I knew they were going to be shaky. The Packers don't have enough talent. Now, they do have a running game that I did not anticipate them having, but At the end of the day, I can't trust that running game of the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, you can't do it with just Aaron Rodgers anymore. You got too many teams with too much talent, and if you continue to try to do it with just Aaron Rodgers, you're going to continue to get your ass kicked. So I knew the Bears, if Mitchell Trubisky would not just freak the game, a.k.a. Jay Cutler status, I knew that the Bears would be in mad contention for that division, and it looks that way. It looks as if that's what's going to go on. Now, the next team is a team that a lot of people ain't even talking about. A lot of people say, well, what about the Redskins? I can't trust the Redskins. They 3 offensive linemen down. They own a quarterback who at one point would have been a top 10 player pick, but he jacked up his shoulder in the Alabama National Championship game, Colt McCoy. So I'm going to go with the Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Now, when you look at the Carolina Panthers, you look at how many lost last week. They are one fundamental play from Cam Newton away from winning that game. See, this is why you need good coaching. If you listen to the show Saturday, you heard me say, is it lazy coaching or is it guys can't play? I'm going to put it on lazy coaching. The reason I'm putting it on lazy coaching is I owe you. Oh yeah, you do. Oh yeah, you do, Big Illinois. You do owe me drinks, homie. Next time, don't doubt the guy. But this Cam Newton, his throw was errant because it's far too many guys in this league. When you look at people like Mitchell Trubisky, when you look at people like Cam Newton, when you look at people like Dak Prescott, when they throw that football, they don't set their feet, they don't get squared away, and they cannot. That's why they balls sell and things of that nature. That's one thing about good coaching. That's why when you look at people like Patrick Mahomes, Jason Goff, or Carson Wentz, my main man Russell Wilson, they are square, they are solid in their fundamentals, and that only comes by good coaching. Didn't think the Bears defense would dominate the Vikings. I did, Big Illinois. The reason I thought they would is because Kirk Cousins is not a good football player. Kirk Cousins is a backup quarterback who's being paid to do what a starting quarterback does. And I don't care, people could doubt it and no. Did you see his record? See, this is why I always say I don't want to hear about no damn stats. I don't want to hear about what you did last week, last month, and last year. Did you see the game when he had 400 yards and all this? Because, like I was just saying, the league is set up for Xbox Mad numbers. So, because you put up numbers now when you can't tackle the quarterback. Listen to this. We play tackle football and you can't fall on the quarterback. I'm going to tackle you, but I can't fall on you, so you won't get hurt. I said that I will keep saying this. This is why there are very few good coaches in sports today, because the John Maddens of the world, you had Darryl LaMonica being backed up by Kenny Stabler, who went on to the Hall of Fame. You had Morton being backed up by Roger Staubach, who went on to the Hall of Fame. You got Joe Montana being backed up by Steve Young, who went on to the Hall of Fame. If you notice, these are guys who had solid backups. Either they started as an understudy or they had a solid backup behind them, and they backup excel. This is why I look at this and say, look, miss me with this nonsense about how everybody else is so good. Like I heard the homie Chris Carter say he's never seen so many good throwers of the football. Well, hell, anybody can throw the football when you know ain't nobody gonna knock the hell out you, and when you know even if they do knock the hell out you, they can't fall on you. Come on, man. Part of sports is mental, and when you can't be intimidated or forced into a bad situation, how can we gauge if you're good or not? We don't know if you good, man. You just another dude throwing a ball. But when this is why. No disrespect to Tom Brady, because if the homie Juice listened, I wish Juice was in the chat room. The homie Juice would tell you, I'm the dude who put a lot of cats on to Tom Brady before, when people was calling him a system quarterback. But how can you tell me Tom Brady is a greater quarterback than Joe Montana when Joe Montana had to deal with Derrick Brooks. Derrick Brooks.